Call to order the City Council meeting of May 19, 2015. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Please place your right hand over your heart. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you be kind enough to call the roll? Any persons wish to address the City Council on any item on today's agenda may do so at this time.
I'd like to speak with regard to finances of this city, and I have concerns with the finances and where the monies are going. By that, I am concerned about, I don't know, some of the people that we're bringing into the city. It seems to me that we have a lot of residents here who are very, very knowledgeable and can do many of these jobs, but it seems like, we're just getting a lot of retired police officers in here to do these jobs, and that's a concern of mine with regard to how our monies are being spent. We talk about saving monies and, getting rid of certain peoples and not having to be responsible for people's retirements, but many of us have retired, and thank goodness that we did, because we have retirement benefits that we're entitled to. Many of you even have those retirement benefits. But being that we are, I go back to say that I'm concerned with many of these people that we bring in here, and I have even concerns with people that don't live in the city doing jobs that, we who live here, in my opinion, could do. I have concerns even to the people that you bring in here to be an advocate for you on the school board who don't live in this city. And I was just wondering if our illustrious city attorney could let me know if people who don't live in this city can represent the city in certain areas that people who do live here, it seems to me, should be able to do that. So those are just a few of my concerns about what's going on with the city and how we're spending our monies right now. I thank you.
And what jobs are these retired police officers getting that you feel are better done by other people?
Well, Mayor Butts, I think that
just give me the jobs.
I said,
going to look into it.
For one thing, this parking commissioner that you bought in. For the other thing,
parking what?
Parking. No, I'm sorry, not the commissioner, but the gentleman that you bought in who was retired from, who lives in Pasadena and is retired from Long Beach, I believe. And you brought him in here to
Did you know that
oversee.
he was not only the overseer for the parking operation in Pasadena, he's been a parking overseer for a major hospital and a major university.
Well,
did you know that? So what? Mr. Fisher, I want to ask you.
I didn't know that.
What? I know you didn't. So what?
I didn't know that. But what's that got to do with people living in here having jobs, and you them are always talking about having people here to get
Mr.
jobs.
Fisher, what resident do you know is better qualified? That's all I'm asking. You said there was someone better qualified to live here. Tell me who that is.
I said there are many people in this city that are qualified for these jobs.
That have run major parking operations.
I'm certain.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fisher. I wanted to see how objective you were. Thank you very much.
I am objective,
thank you very
much.
With
regard to you them sitting out there
Mr. Fisher,
bringing people in, you should
Mr.
let
Fisher,
people know that they could have that
job,
and then maybe you would have an answer to your question.
You've answered my question. I see. Thank you very much.
My name is Willie Agee, and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood. I want to talk about the finance of this city. I know people that has been brought to this city many, many years, at least 18 years. And this city went backwards, simply because we didn't have representatives like we have today. You were elected to run the city, and you're running the city. And that's why this city is progressing. That's why we're going to be #1 in the nation, absolutely. And then they give it 3 years. That's 3 years, and we're going to be there under the leadership of this council and Mayor James Butts. I have all the confidence in you. And these naysayers that get up here and make accusation about the way they think the city should go, that's what kept the city down for many, many years. My thing is take care of the money, hire the best qualified people you can get regardless of where they come from. They can come from Alabama. If they the best qualified people, hire them. That's what we need. Thank you very much. We got the best here.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Good afternoon, Mayor, staff, and councilmen. I just have a strange observation for the sound installation bids. We have groups 1 through 9. Now, speaking of groups, where is group 7? I'm just, asking a strange question. Those are my observations. Thank you.
All right. Well, Group 7 may have been pulled because there was some more work to be done with the bid. Okay, with that, we'll close public comment. Madam Clerk, let's open the successor agency and the Housing Authority.
A quorum is present.
Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant register.
Move allow payment.
Second.
Madam Clerk,
Council and agency members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
aye. Item 2,
Approval of the minutes held April 14th and April 21st, 2015.
Moved.
Approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk,
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
aye. Item through 13, and now for the record, I just want people to note that 9 through 13 are all residential sound installation group contracts.
So moved.
Madam City Clerk,
Dodson, I'm sorry, Council.
and let me go, excuse me, through 16, Madam Clerk, and 9 through 16 are says sound installation bids, okay. So could
I'll
we,
withdraw and issue my motion up to 16.
all right, Madam Clerk,
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
aye. SPH 1,
Staff report requesting that a public hearing be set to consider the adoption of the zoning code amendment 2015-01 to modify regulations for the sale of distilled spirits.
we'll set the public hearing for June 9th, 2015 at 7 p.m. SPH 2,
Staff report requesting that a public hearing be set to consider an appeal to the Planning Commission's approval to special use permit number 1207 for a preliminary plan assembly development to redevelop the former Daniel Freeman Hospital site as a 310-unit condominium development on an 18.3-acre property located at 333 North Prairie Avenue.
set the public hearing for June 9th, 2015 at 7 p.m. SPH 3,
Staff report requesting that a public hearing be set to consider the adoption of the Stormwater Management and Discharge Control Ordinance.
set the public hearing for June 2nd, 2015 at 2 p.m. A1,
Thank you, Mayor. As the CS1 was a closed session confidential regarding the city attorney, discussion was held, direction given to staff. As the CS2 was a confidential public employee evaluation regarding the city manager, discussion held, direction given to staff. As the CS3, confidential regarding labor negotiations with an unrepresented employee, meaning the city manager. The city representative was myself, Ken Campos. Again, discussion was held, direction given to staff. Item 4, CS4, was a closed session regarding a case regarding a Jernita Polk versus the City of Inglewood, LASC case number 14K00938. There's a request for a motion for a settlement in the amount of $9,000.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye.
Last item on closed session was CS5 regarding a request for an appeal regarding the City of Inglewood against the Public Utilities Commission. The appellate case number is B263763. Discussion was held, direction given to staff.
A2,
Thank you, Mayor. As to A2, there's no oral reports from the City Attorney's Office.
CM1,
Yes, Mayor and City Council, just want to inform the public that we will be having our Memorial Day celebration on May 25th at 11 o'clock on the South Lawn, and I'd like to invite the public to attend. And also, I'd like to let the public know that the city has completed the installation of a new fitness station at Darby Park, and would like to encourage all the residents to visit the park and check it out, get healthy, and stay fit.
okay. CC1, Madam City Clerk?
I just want to remind people that the last day to register to vote for our runoff election on June 16th is June 1st, and we now are doing early voting in the city clerk's office, so you can do that as well. And Mayor, if you can close the meeting in memory of two ladies. Mother and daughter died, they're Inglewood residents, and they died 25 days apart from each other. The first name is Sandra Capel and Ramona Wright.
There'll be no CT1. Public comment, any person wishing to make public comment on matters not elsewhere addressed on the agenda may do so at this time.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. I want to thank you for the council or the city having the foresightedness to see how important the CERT organization is to the city and sending a person from the city to be a trainer. So we no longer have to rely on the county fire department to train our CERT members. A lot of people don't know what CERT is. It's a community emergency response team. We are in the process right now trying to find old members, new members, and people interested in joining the CERT organization. It doesn't cost anything. You get a 20-hour training course that teaches you how to be prepared for yourself, your community. It's very important. We have a meeting on June 3rd at 6 to 9 p.m. It's a 20-hour training course. It's done over a 5-week, 5 sessions, Wednesday and Thursday night, starting at 6 o'clock. If you're interested, you can contact Miss Ann LaRose at 310-330-5337, or you can email her at ANNALARose@cityofinglewood.org. This is very important. We have a town of over 120,000 people. In a major disaster, the fire department, the police department are going to be busy, and you're not going to have anybody to get to you within 10 hours, probably 10 days, to be quite truthful, if it's a major one. So it's very important, very important. We need 5,000 members. Please contact us, and please attend this first training session if you can. I do appreciate the city sending us someone to be trained so we can have our training people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. I was wondering about the library in District 1 on get that open, and if the Wi-Fi was on, because I see a chair in front of the library. I was just wondering if people sit there, just use the Wi-Fi or not. And also, I see some cameras on West Boulevard in Manchester, on top of the lights, and I know some youth residents who will probably be skeptical about it, because it's a lot of Illuminati stuff going around, like, the government's watching us all the time. They're always on our back and all this stuff, and I think it's for traffic, and I'm just trying to get approval on that, because, it's a lot of kids, who don't trust the government. They believe the government is watching us. And I just seen the cameras today when I was waiting on the bus, and it looked kind of sketchy to me, because I thought, maybe they're trying to, watch us and kill us or something. But if those cameras, are for traffic, for the forum and everything, that's awesome.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Davis? Welcome back. This is the time. Free for all.
Okay, basically, I want to speak about a fellow that I came to know by coming to these council meetings. His name was Johnny Ingram. And ever since I found out he passed away, something's been on my mind. What his legacy was. My punishment is going to be I should have sat down and got a camera or something and recorded his life. He was a self-made man. We don't talk about that in our community anymore. He died, he had to be a multimillionaire. And he did it by starting a janitorial business. And I wish again he could have put it down somewhere, because it's more than we know. I took the time, council and mayor, to look up. I chose as a focus point the I Have a Dream speech in 1964. In 1964, there were 35 millionaires or businesses of color in the black community, of 22 million people. You'd say that Martin was right. We were being held down, stepped on, beat down. Now let's ask ourselves a question. It's 2015. How many now? 35,000. There's only 33 million of us now. So the point is that men like Johnny Ingram, men like, sorry, Mr. AG, him, he's a millionaire too. Self-made. Pull themselves up.
That's good to know.
And I guess my appeal is to this city that I live in, that we don't have to wait for anybody to save us. And that's the way we're going to have to play it. Because if we wait for someone to save us, well, we're going to be Baltimore. And again, I honor Mr. Ingram. I'll miss him. And we need to start telling the stories of self-made millionaires. You know, we know who the entertainers and the actors and the athletes are. Yeah, they're a dime a dozen. I call them the top 10,000. But what about those 15 to 20,000 underneath them? I mean, we can do this ourselves. Thank you for your time. I wish there was more time.
Thank you.
I got to respond to that one. Why did my check bounce last week? just kidding. Just kidding. Look at it. We need more people like him. Absolutely. We need more people like him. This is my city, and I'm proud of it. And I'm proud of each and every, starting right here, all the way around. I'm proud of it. I'm even proud of a young lady there from Inglewood Today newspaper, you know, this guy, Jim. These are people that's concerned about the city. And I want to congratulate y'all on a council meeting today that's, you know, that's the way it should have been 5 years ago. I'm telling you, yeah, I'm so proud of you guys. Out of all the huff you have to put up with the naysayers coming up here demeaning you, I finally figured out what is the reason why they do it. They're at home by themselves. They don't have any friends. And they come up here just to harass people that are doing their job. And, you know, they have a right to do it. But I would love it if they would get this stuff together and come up here and talk about positive stuff that's going to help this city instead of trying to pull it down. You know, a lot of them ain't here today, and that's a good thing. Anyway, keep up the good work. My council, staff, and everybody, even my policemen here. Look here, we got the greatest. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. AG.
Absolutely.
council members, I'm going to assume that the 1 minute doesn't apply today since it didn't to the last couple of speakers, so I'll go ahead and keep that in mind. One of the things that I find really interesting is the constant need to attack those of us who ask questions. And it's really unfortunate because that need to disparage people as opposed to dealing with the question is why so many of you have not the best of image in the circles that I know. And I think one of the sad things is that someone would go off and try to make a characterization about the individual lives of the people who are genuinely concerned about our community, who don't happen to have that, gosh, I gotta praise somebody gene. So I'm really kind of interested that if in fact we are going to honor all of those that have done so well in our community, why we were so quick to discount the contributions of the woman I mentioned last week. All of her days, she contributed to this community. Wow. And it was diminished by saying it shouldn't matter how long someone lived or worked in our community. We're diminishing her contributions, and that is a really sad state of affairs. But you know, your days are going to be fewer than hers, just by the logic of time passing. We will all live shorter lives than that group that lived to 90s plus. They are very unique and very special. And I would hope that you learn to appreciate the contributions of every member of this community and not sit back and diminish or devalue anyone who comes before you, who walks in the street, attends our schools, or just comes in to visit. Because that's telling us how you want us to think of you.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
First off, I'd like to thank you Mayor Butts especially, for allowing these last few speakers to have more than 1 minute. And then I'm going to harangue with you with regard to these meetings and the times of these meetings. There was a meeting in District 1 here this last Saturday that our illustrious Councilman Dotson had, and he was told in that meeting that people are not happy. They're not happy that they don't have the right to speak. They're not happy that they don't have the right to ask questions of you, them, or your staff. You know, you're not happy that you don't get answers when you do ask questions. So I'm going to ask again that you then consider having these meetings at 7 o'clock. We fought very hard to have every one of these meetings. At that time, we were set up by bringing some 20 signatures of some seniors that were afraid to come out in this illustrious city at night because of the fear of being hurt in some manner. And you decided to change these meetings. It was said at that meeting that Mr. Dotson had that, you know, people were unhappy that they can't get to these meetings because they work through the day. So those are some of the things that I would ask you to do, to ask you to consider, and I'm sure that you won't, but thank you.
My name is Deanna Blanks, and I'm a member of Faithful Central Bible Church, and I'm here on behalf of Bishop Omer. And we'd like to invite you out to our Healing the Wounds and Rebuilding Trust. It will be a discussion where we focus on the recent killings of the minorities at hand of law enforcement. So it will be Thursday, May the 28th, and we hope and like that you guys come out to it. 8:30 to 9:30.
Hello, Mr. Mayor, City Council members, staff, citizens of Inglewood. My name is Wayne Spence. I'm the chairman of the South End Workforce Investment Board. I'm here to give you our quarterly updates.
As you know, the South Bay Workforce Investment Board is comprised of the 11 participating cities of Inglewood, Lawndale, El Segundo, Hawthorne, Hermosa Beach, Redondo Beach, Carson, Manhattan Beach, Torrance, Lomita, Gardena, for the delivery of employment and training services through its one-stop business and career centers. We're summarizing the April 16, 2015 WIB meetings and activities through the program year 2014-2015. On March 16, 2015, the California Workforce Investment Board informed the South Bay WIB that they are now authorized through the Secretary of State to have Torrance and Lomita join the group. So that makes us 11. During this quarter, the WIB hosted its annual Blueprint for Workforce Success Youth Job Fair on Wednesday, April 20, 2015 at Rogers Park. There's a total of 653 youth who attended. 154 were employed that day, and 361 were scheduled for second interviews. On April 13th, the South Bay WIB hosted Doris Barnett, who's a member of the German Bundestag Committee on Economics and Technology. This meeting, in summation, is really about bringing the opportunity for any kind of manufacturing, coexistence between what we have here in the South Bay and what they need with BMW and other German car makers and other manufacturing facilities here. The South Bay WIB is currently preparing for the transition from the Workforce Investment Act to the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act, which Congress now has authorized us and has fully funded the workforce boards nationally. I don't want to be overly done here. Rapid response services are provided to 16 companies. 1,520 employees are affected by layoffs, closures during the third quarter of program year 2014-2015. A total of 84 employees were affected by layoffs that occurred with Inglewood companies that included Radio Shack and Ryder. Staff completed orientations to one-stop services in addition to information regarding employment insurance benefits. This concludes my oral report. We have a written summary here, which Mr. Sergeant at Arms, with your permission or your expediency, would share with the council. Gentlemen persons, I want to thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you.
I know I've already talked, but I've got to answer something about.
Oh, no, you feel what, come on.
About Mr. Dodson's town hall meeting. I was there, present. The people that were complaining about not being heard, they were off the agenda. And Mr. Dodson offered cards for people to answer the questions after the meeting. And they left the meeting. Well, one that was escorted out, but they left the meeting before the meeting was over to have the questions answered.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that, Mr. Vaughn.
Hello, my name again is Stuart Bailey. I have an observation that's sort of dangerous. At the location of the Vons on Hillcrest and Locust and that intersection with a lot of lights by Vons Market and the Bank of America. There's a base of metal at the bottom of the street where it used to be a crosswalk button, and they left that metal right exposed, and people that walk up where the bank is on Locust, if they don't look down, they will trip on that metal. And I would just, that's a safety for the city so we won't get sued. Can we have Mr. Atwell with some of his people come and remove that piece of metal so that because people don't look down.
Which corner is it on?
It's on the Hillcrest side.
Hillcrest and Locust?
And Locust, where they had the Vons Market, where that one section.
I know it. So is it on the west corner?
Southwest, yes, sir.
It's on the southwest corner?
Yes, sir.
We'll consider it done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Would you text Mr. Atwell? All right, we'll close public comment. Council comments, Councilman Dotson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I'll be quick. Town hall meeting was great. Those who came for information got the information they need. I want to thank all the department heads who came out, and especially the mayor who came out to the meeting. It was well attended. Questions was answered after the meeting, as we said they would be. Also, on last Wednesday, I attended a meeting at Animal Charter High School. was very well attended as well, and I got some great information. I didn't know we had a school quite like that in our neighborhood. They have like a 94 percentile, and to me that's unheard of. Graduation, and most of them are going to college. At least 80% of them are going to college. We also had a Metro meeting at the Veterans Building this past week, and it was well attended. I want to invite all of you out to the Relay for Life. Set your calendars for June 6th and 7th. Please come out and enjoy us, have some fun, raise some money, and join Team Dotson. Please go on your computer, Relay for Life, and sign up, donate a little money, and come on out and participate and donate under Team Dotson. I thank you all for coming out, and look forward to seeing you in the next week or so.
And Councilman Padilla.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of things. First off, I want to had a great opportunity on Saturday to attend the swearing-in ceremony for Yvonne. Great job, by the way, very well attended by the community out there, and congratulations. Also, yesterday I had an opportunity to attend the CDBG event or housing surveys that were done at the ICOP Center. There was about a handful of folks, about a dozen folks there. I want to thank Damian Pipkins and Tracy Duncan for doing a great presentation and answering questions that the community had. Good again. Thank you to Damian and Tracy. I attended Councilmember Dotson's town hall, and folks were given an opportunity to fill out the cards and ask their questions later. There was a couple of people that decided they wanted to stand up and do their own agenda. That's not their town hall meeting. It's Councilman Dotson's, and he's going to run it the way he sees fit. And at the end of the day, the folks are going to get the information that they're there to get. The other one is last week I also had a chance to go to the library to attend the Inglewood High School Students Art Show. There was a couple of dozen kids that had their artwork on display, and it's still on display. So if you get a chance to go to the library, it's on the walls and on the tables. You'll really be impressed by the talent that some of our young school students have. So please stop by the Inglewood High School. Just so you know, the mayor and I did attend the services last Friday for Johnny Ingram, and also, spoke to the family and to several members that were there. Johnny is a neighbor of mine, lives right around the block in the cul-de-sac, and have known him for many years. I lost a close friend, a gentleman that coached a lot of our kids in baseball. He umpired. He was on the board at Westchester Little League. He passed away on Tuesday. Mayor, if you'd close in his memory, Steve Dallett. And I'd also like to wish everybody a blessed Memorial Weekend. And I want to thank those men and women that are out there protecting our country, and those that have served, and have given the ultimate sacrifice. May God bless you, and look forward to seeing each and every one of you on Monday at the Memorial Day services at 11 o'clock on the north lawn, or south lawn, sorry. Thank you.
You'll be waiting a long time.
I'll be waiting a while.
Councilman Morales? Okay. I'm going to do a group of set of appointments, and we'll vote on them at the end. Okay. At one time. There we go. Councilman Morales nominates, and I appoint Ade Trejo to the Planning Commission. Councilman Morales nominates, and I appoint Roberto Munoz to the Civil Service Board of Review. Councilman Ela Morales Jr. nominates, and I appoint Cynthia McLemore to the Parks and Recreation Commission. Councilman Ela Morales Jr. nominates, and I appoint Bernadette Nicholson to the Aviation Commission. Councilman Morales nominates, and I appoint Sergio Hernandez to the Housing Authority Commission. Councilman Morales nominates, and I appoint Milton Randall to the Human Affairs Commission. Councilman Eloy Morales Jr. nominates, and I appoint Charles Coronado to the Parking and Traffic Commission. Councilman Eloy Morales Jr. nominates and I appoint Phyllis Battle to the Arts Commission. Councilman Eloy Morales Jr. nominates and I appoint Charles Coronado to the Construction Appeals, or to the Construction Appeals Commission. I thought I was seeing double. Councilman Eloy Morales nominates and I appoint Matthew Chinachian to the Citizen Police Oversight Commission. Madam Clerk.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales. Mayor Butts.
Aye. Even though he's here, I want to answer Mr. Fisher's inquiry about the appointment of the liaison to the school district. The Inglewood Unified School District serves populations from Inglewood, Ladera Heights, and some parts of Hawthorne, and therefore and some parts of Los Angeles. She's right, and so anyone that is involved in those communities would be an appropriate liaison, and I wanted to make that clear. I also wanted to say about town hall meetings or district meetings, what people have to understand is those are meetings that are advertised by a council person, and there's an agenda, and they want to get out information. And the people that come to those meetings, they're coming because they have the expectation that those topics are going to be addressed, and they don't expect us to be there all day long. But unfortunately, there are some people that believe, for some erroneous reason, that they are there to hear them pontificate ad nauseum on all sorts of topics and grievances, both real and imagined, that they harbor within the dark recesses of their souls. That's not what it's about. And so if someone says, no, if you want to talk about that later, it's not your right to obstruct a public meeting with your own soliloquy. So that's one thing that people have to understand. These are structured meetings. If you want to have a soliloquy meeting, advertise it yourself, get a place to have it, and then see how many people come. But don't think that you're going to waste everyone in the community's time that comes to hear what the councilman says is going to be discussed. I don't think that's right. And for a long time, we've had people that have self-abused themselves to believe that everyone in this community comes to a meeting to hear what they harbor on their heart. That's just not true. I wanted to also announce that we just received a notice that we will receive an extension of our time to complete our RSI program until December. And it looks like we're on track to complete every residence that responded to their letter for eligibility. And that is a huge accomplishment from where we were 4 years ago. And we've averaged over 1,000 residences a year insulated over the last 2.5 years. I really want to compliment staff for that. I want to close the meeting in the name of Sandra Cabell, Ramona Wright, Steve DeLay, and the owner of K. Anthony Schools, Brady and Margaret Johnson. A lot of us had kids my kids went to K. Anthony Schools. Several generations of them. Started their business with a broom, a mop, and a bucket. Brady Johnson passed away on May 12, 2015. He had a strong desire to build a solid foundation of education, and I believe that he and Margaret have accomplished this. And so we close the meetings in memory of all of these individuals, and I'm sorry that Ms. Sobrano felt that we didn't give the same level of caring to the person that she mentioned last week, because we did. I didn't see anybody diminish her at all. So anyway, we're going to be adjourned.